Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the Grit Culture. Before we get this video started, like always, man, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Appreciate everybody that's supported, man. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about what everybody's motherfuckers was broken the internet. Our friend, our good friend Kanye West, or Ye, as he likes to be called. Kanye and all his cronies, man, they've definitely provided the bread and circus for all of us. It's definitely entertaining. Whether you think so or not, shit, to me, the shit is comical. I don't know what this is we're looking at. He could be getting paid to be a distraction or whatever it may be. You know, he could be playing a role, but we're going to view this on the surface level. We're going to break down the shit for what it is. So, Kanye, you know, first of all, you had, you know, he's been in the news. Not the first time he's been in the news this week. He was on Tim Pool's podcast, and he walked up out of there. Now, there was a lot of blame that could be going on both sides. I know people were taking sides or whatnot. There was things both sides did wrong. Tim Pool accused Kanye of bringing up, you know, the whole anti-Semitic conversation up during the interview, when you can go back to the show, and Tim Pool's the one who actually initiated the conversation. But then, you know, not only that, but Tim Pool had, you know, when everything got brought up and, you know, at the point where Kanye walked off, it was just, the shit got out of control, because when Tim Pool, when he was asked to explain himself or whatnot, and then the other guy, Nick Fuentes, which I don't know much about him, they say he's, you know, white supremacist and all of that. I have to look at stuff like that for myself to be able to make, you know, come to that conclusion on stuff, because I just don't know. You can't trust media, especially when they make, you know, make those characterizations and give people those labels. A lot of times shit turns out not to be fucking true. So I'd have to assess the person myself and see some of his content. And I haven't seen nothing or heard any clips of Nick Fuentes or anything, but he's been tagging along with Kanye. But Nick Fuentes, he starts talking, and then what's his name, Tim Pool, tries to rebut, and before he can rebut, you know, it's Kanye walks out. It was just all over the place, man. And, you know, Kanye, he could have stayed around and, you know, could have read the room and understood what was going on within that moment, instead of storming off. Especially having a particular idea, you want to be able to put that out to the public. You want people to be able to, you know, you're doing a disservice to the people who are trying to learn, especially learn where you're coming from at that moment. But, you know, you got every right to do whatever you want to do. But still, you know, if you're trying to teach people or trying to get people to, you know, trying to galvanize them on this side, you know, shit like that doesn't help. It just leaves people, you know, in the dark on what you know, where you're trying to go with all of this. And he certainly didn't help that shit today, because he popped up on Alex Jones' show. Now, Alex Jones, man, shit that's been going on, that whole court case, that thing looked like a damn psyop within itself, that court case. Alex Jones, he's a shill, man. He's a shill. Let's keep it clear, you know, keep it all the way 100, man. But that doesn't mean that a lot of the things that Alex Jones says isn't, you know, true. Alex Jones says a lot of true shit, but I believe, you know, he's shown himself to have, you know, he's playing the game. I'll say that much. Alex Jones is playing the game, but still, you know, you take information for what it is, and you got to break information down, you know, one by one. And, you know, if you go off that, you know, like I said, a lot of shit Alex Jones says is, you know, there's some weight behind it. There's something behind it, whether you want to believe that or not. But, you know, he's, you know, a lot of the shit, you know, of course, he had that court case with Sandy Hook and all of that. And, you know, hell, if you make accusations like that and calling people agents and, you know, saying people were playing, you know, you can say you don't have to believe nothing, but the actual, you know, pinpointing and saying people are fake actors and stuff like that, shit, that can open you up to a lawsuit, especially if you don't have any proof. And that's just, you know, not just going for the whole Alex Jones charade that's going on or whatnot, or, you know, that whole fiasco, but just people in general. Make sure you have proof and make sure you have evidence to back up claims like that. But you have every right to believe shit. I don't care what it is, any situation, anything that's crisis, and don't let them try to bring in because it's kids or whatnot, because the play on your heartstrings will make you feel guilty for questioning things. No, question everything. I actually respect that more than I respect the person just taking what's given to them and, you know, not even, you know, asking questions or anything. So, no, I have no problem with, you know, asking the questions, but like I said, have some stuff to back up your claims. Otherwise, you're just gonna look like a damn fool, and it, you know, delegitimizes what you're talking about. But he was on Kanye West, or Ye, was on Alex Jones, and he had some wild stuff, wild stuff to say today. Now, you know, of course, the clip that's going around and the quote that's, you know, being taken is, you know, Kanye saying he sees good in Hitler. And talking about, you know, later in the interview, he's talking about he loves Hitler. He even said at one point he loves the Nazis. He's Kanye, if you understand, you know what's going on. He's just in complete nuke mode. And he made it clear during the interview. He's in complete nuke mode. Now, he even said within the interview, he said that he loves everybody. He's, you know, going with that whole thing, loving everybody, love, you know, no matter, regardless of what. He even said he loves Zionists. He loves the, you know, the Jewish people who are doing whatever to him. And so, you know, but that stuff's not gonna, that stuff's, you know, the crazy stuff that he said is always going to get clipped out, and people aren't going to go and watch this interview. So it's going to get, you know, turned into, you know, whatever it is, you know, even if it's against what his intention or what point he was trying to make. But even the stuff he said was shit. It was wild enough. Now, he's got the right to say whatever he wants to say. He can say that, but, you know, people can respond how they want. That's a heavy thing to say, especially when you know you're talking about something where a person just, you know, committed genocide on people, man. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna. That's not how I'm gonna go about it. You know, it's, hey, you take those motherfuckers out. There's no redeeming qualities. Now, I've always been the one to say if a motherfucker says something that's right, and I've always used Hitler as an example. You got to acknowledge it as being right, but that doesn't mean say, you know, I see good. There's, I don't know. That's all subjective. Maybe you do this. People are all different. You could probably find something that could be inspirational. This is not speaking for Kanye, just talking about it in general. Maybe the people are weird. They operate in certain ways, and it could be certain things could be turned in. You know, you could take qualities out of a person and then turn it into something that's beneficial, you know, for society or whatnot. I don't know what that would be out of Hitler, but, you know, like I said, but when you look at it like that, like I said, most people aren't gonna look at it like that. It's, you know, it's I don't even know why you would say this, something like that, but like I said, no, let me get it right. I know exactly why Kanye said that, and he stated it. The dude's in complete meltdown mode. You know, he's telling guys to come, you know, come kill him. He's inviting all of the shit that's, you know, inviting all of the funk. You know, he's looking for the problem now. He's calling out, taunting Benjamin Netanyahu and everything. And it's all, man, just, it's bread and circus, man. It's definitely entertaining. It's unfortunate it has had to get to this point, but, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, he's been catching some raw deals as far as we know. Like I said, it's all at surface level. It's all the celebrity stuff. You don't know, nowadays you don't know what's real, what's not, but take it at surface level for what it is and what you're getting fed. He's been catching a raw deal, definitely catching a raw deal. It's wrong. It's wrong, dealing with the bank accounts and shit like that. And yeah, it's possibly going to get worse. Ain't no sponsors going to want to touch him at all. Nobody's going to want to touch him, especially, that's just even going outside of just, Jews or anybody. Like, damn, you sitting there saying, you fucking with Hitler. Like I said, people aren't going to go and try to break down the psychology of why you're saying it, or if you're being facetious or anything like that. They're just going to take, like shit. Nobody plays with something like that. And I'm just speaking, saying how people are going to take it. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. This shit is, it's all goofy shit. He's supposed to be on there, he's supposed to be giving a campaign for running in 2024, but the dude is offered no fucking policies. Also, him and Alex Jones on there talking about creating a Christianity party, and they keep, I'm all for, preaching about Jesus and stuff, all of that. That's cool. But implementing it in your politics, there's a complete no. Goes against the First Amendment, because not everybody, that's common sense. Not everybody believes that. So how can you implement that into law? So you're alienating everybody who doesn't believe in that shit, and you're making them, trying to bend them to your will and what you believe. That's immoral. That's completely immoral. No matter, what you want to think, that's immoral, man. Just looking at it from a practical way. And so, but this is what Kanye West and Alex Jones are pushing. But, a lot of people are going to go along with this shit, man, because just people don't have no real sense of, no real core of what it is, to have human rights and what human rights look like. Sound there talking about, and his comments about Balenciaga and talking about, first he was calling out guys, for not speaking on, for not calling out the whole Balenciaga situation, which is, I hadn't even talked about on here, but man, it's a horrible situation. And what people need to look at in the Balenciaga situation, stay focused on the documents. Stop trying, because y'all trying to look at the imagery, and then people are focusing on the imagery. And when you're conversing with everybody online, they're like, oh, you might be reaching, or y'all, it's just a kid and the bear, blah, 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 low. The documents are the proof. That's how you know. That kills anybody who's trying to say, oh, y'all might be reaching or anything. It's the documents. What the documents say, which Balenciaga admitted themselves. But Kanye comes out and says, he not only, he defended it on the Alex Jones show, but then he made a tweet saying he stands with Balenciaga. Now, his thing is, he's saying it could have been done on purpose because his friend still works with Balenciaga. It could be a sabotage. Fuck all of that. His friend and Kanye there needs to be an investigation and figuring out what all of this shit was about and why this happened the way it did, because the shit is crazy. It's weird. So fuck all that standing with him and stuff like that. Like, what are you talking about? And he's trying to compare it with pornography and people having sex and pornography in the porn industry. Which, yeah, the porn industry is utilized to distract and, keep people in a bad state of mind. But it's between two consenting adults. That's the difference. They have every right to engage within that industry. And in capitalism, they have every right to engage within that industry. It's between two consenting adults. When you're talking about child pornography, you're talking about a child. They can't consent to things. That's the difference. So trying to compare that to that is absolutely fucking absurd. And it's one of those things, like I said, Kanye just running his fucking mouth that time. Doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't know what he's talking about, man. So, man, it's just all over the place, man. all over the place. But like I said, then he says, you know, like I've said every single time, he says things that you can agree with, but it's just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. Like the last time, he just goes from one thing to the next. Good for headlines. Good for the bread and circus. But yeah, it's the whole thing. But dude sitting up down there with the mask on and tying that Netanyahu with he had the little net. All that shit was funny. It was hilarious as shit, man. Looking funny as hell, but nah, man. Dude's all over the place. Like I said, he has no real talking about running in 2024. He asked Trump to be his running mate and all of that, and dude has no real policy on anything. Also, the last thing he brought up, this was I just saw this probably about a couple hours ago. Said he caught Chris Paul fucking his wife. He put this out on Twitter. Dude, let the Kim Kardashian thing go, man. You knew what the fuck it is. People been posting his lyrics. They've been doing this, posting his lyrics from Gold Digger. And then you go out and doing all the same shit that you already knew about. Which is what we said about this situation with the Jews and everything in the industry, everything that goes on in the industry. You already knew how it worked. But the second that you got screwed over, that's when you want to start calling it out. But you in that mess now, and you said you are, so you got to see your way out. You got to trust in God to help you find your way out. But you knew what it was to begin with. Should have known with the damn Kardashians. You know what the fuck they are. And then you seen what it is. It's not just going off cheating. You know, people can make up from, cheating. You know what I'm saying? Most men, it's when they catch their wife getting screwed by another dude, shit. You know what I mean? Like, toss her in the garbage. But, people can make up for stuff like that. It could be, a plethora of things that, shit's just going bad in the marriage or whatnot. And motherfucker might still love you, but she's shown over and over again that she has no love for Kanye West. She's all the, just taking the side of, talking about, taking the side of the industry, doing everything, putting out statements. You don't have to put out statements. This is the father of your children and everything. And then going out of your way, even after he's cutting ties with Balenciaga, you still going and rocking that crap. Just all type of stuff. You got the, what else is going, what am I missing, man? I forgot one of the things, but yeah, she's gone completely out of her way, man, to show that she ain't rocking with him. Oh, the court case. She's got millions of dollars, but she's got to get this dude's money. Just has to. Women don't have to let the court do these things. You don't have to. I know sometimes they make rulings. We only see stuff from the outside. Sometimes they make rulings. Maybe Kanye agreed to it, but I don't know. But because sometimes that happens, men agree. But you don't need Kim Kardashian's a multi-millionaire. But yeah, she's and you doing this in the midst of him having a fight against the industry. You see he's going through these mental issues, but it's your children's father who you had multiple kids with. But yeah, she's shown over and over again that she is not on Kanye West's side, but he keeps still begging for her to come home. Then posted shit like this. Chris Paul and all of this stuff. It's just bread and circus. That's all of this shit is, man. But makes for good headlines. Here I am talking about it. It's all hilarious. Right? The main thing I want y'all to get from this, all of this though, is when it comes to sponsors can do whatever they want to do. A private private platforms, they can deplatform and do whatever. They can make whatever decision that they want to make. But these places like Facebook and Twitter, they don't have the right to do that. The reason why, because they're not private. They're working with the government. And the government finds ways, because these properties, these companies did not come up, with that with those rules. When I say they didn't get their rise in the game operating like that. But then they wait, and they can make changes whenever they want to make to their policy and stuff like that, right? But you've actively shown, just like you had when Jen Psaki said that they were actively flagging posts on Facebook. You have them and these companies working with the government. That is the textbook definition of fascism. The textbook definition of fascism. When you're dealing with the government, they can't, because think about that. They wait till these companies get huge, and now they can go in and start affecting them. But they can do it, and they can try to operate under the guise of, it's a private company. But this is a huge platform. And so now you're actively going in, and you're the government that's working with this company and telling them how to move and what to do. And you're actively flagging stuff and calling stuff misinformation, when 9 times out of 10, you're the one pushing the misinformation, the government. But you waited till the company grew. And so now you're utilizing that growth to push your agenda as a government. Yeah, that's wartime. That's wartime right there. Your government's out of pocket. Way out of pocket. So no, at that point, they're a public platform. They become public once you're utilizing the government. And any abridgment, any censorship, that's abridgment of free speech. I know I've said different in the past, but there was shit details that I was missing. So we're going to revise this. And you just heard the revision right there. It's an abridgment of free speech, because those places, Facebook for sure, because it's been admitted. It's Facebooks and Twitter, shit like that, working with the government, all these platforms. Abridgment of free speech. That's simple. That's simple. They're not public platforms. They're receiving funds, being funded with our tax dollars. Okay? That's all I got on this, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. But yeah, man, this is a whole lot. But he's got every right to feel how he feels. Whether y'all, I don't agree with everything he says, and I think, the Hitler statements were crazy, but he has every right to feel like that. There's a lot more motherfuckers. He's not committing crime. Y'all deal with the pedophiles and the killers. The government who's killing people, who committed genocide just a couple years ago and still to this day on people with a virus that we don't know where it came from. Focus on the people who are actually doing the actions and not people who are just, talking. They have the right to speak. And you got the right to ignore them. You okay? And you can respond however you want, but understand what you're dealing with and keep the energy in the right places. I'll holler at y'all later.